Welcome to our holistic health and wellness week-long series, where each day we take a look at a fascinating new piece of holistic healing technology. At the heart of this initiative is a shared commitment among all of the companies featured that they hold firmly to their values of being in service to others. And I align with this value as well by sharing this information with you. Our goal is to provide you with valuable insights into alternative forms of healing that may complement your wellness journey. Each video this week will feature a different device, and all of the related information will be listed in the show notes for your reference. We genuinely hope that you find this information helpful and informative, and we encourage you to leave a comment if any of these technologies resonate with you. We love hearing your feedback. Lastly, please remember that while these devices can offer supportive benefits, they are not a substitute for professional medical advice. So please use your own discernment to decide what resonates best with you. And if you find value in this content, please like this video and share it with anyone who you feel may benefit from learning more about these healing and wellness technologies that we discuss. We hope you enjoy this journey towards healing and holistic wellness. And as always, thank you for watching. We want to welcome to the show today Beth and Cheryl. They're here to talk with us about a holistic healing technology called Lifewave, which is wearable wellness that uses phototherapy, light technology, and acupressure. So thank you so much for joining us today. We are so happy to have you both here with us.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we first met you both at a conference that we attended, and you had this product at your booth, and this was something I had not heard of before. I don't think Tracy has either, but we talked with you more about it at that time, and we were just so intrigued by this product, and especially the science behind it. And I think that's what got our attention most. So that might actually be a good place for us to start. If you can share with us about Lifewave, how long has it been around for, and when did you get involved with it, and what makes you so passionate about it?
Okay. You want to
Okay.
start, Bethy?
Yeah, I'll start with a real simple explanation, what I like to share with people to help them best understand this. So just as when the sunlight hits your body knows how to make vitamin D. It does that naturally. With this product, when this patch is applied to your body, it's your own body's infrared light, which we all have, that activates the patch. And when this is activated, it elevates a certain copper peptide. And when this copper peptide is elevated, it activates your own younger stem cells. And we all know what stem cells do. They heal our body. And in healing our bodies and elevating our own stem cells, we will begin to heal and reverse age. Cheryl, do you want to explain what's on the patch?
Yeah. The patch is actually all organic and natural materials. It's structured water, sugar, a little bit of salt, and amino acids. And so what he does that is so special is he puts those all in between that little patch, and then he hits it with a wave of frequency light that freezes it into a lattice structure. So that lattice structure is kind of like a diamond. Whereas when you shine a light on a diamond, you see all different colors of light. That's what reflects off of the patch. It's a very specific reflection that opens up that GHK copper peptide. So it's very unique. Nothing like it in the market. And it's really, truly about giving you your power back. Everybody has God-given power. And so we are opening up the healing centers within you.
I love that.
Your own body to heal itself.
It's cool. It's cool. And so why am I so passionate? When I started, I'm a personal trainer. So I was always into health and wellness anyway. I'm a 2-time Olympic gymnast, trial gymnast. I have to make sure.
I don't think you told us that before.
Yeah, I was
That's amazing.
72 and 76. So when we started our gymnastics school, I was very into health and nutrition. But more importantly, I was always into longevity. I'm like, you know what? I want to look and feel this way for a long time. I don't like aging. And, you know,
Honestly.
they have that stupid thing. It says, why don't you age gracefully? Oh, no, I'm not going to age gracefully. I'm going to fight it every step of
Right?
the way.
No joke, right?
For sure.
And so when I saw the stem cells, I'm like, this is the mother patch. This is the mother patch that can help regenerate everything. Every 7 years, you're brand new anyway. So
That's right.
think about being on that patch, and 7 years from now, I'm going to be 20 years younger. See,
Wow.
it's a long-term commitment to keeping your stem cells active. So I love
And
it.
stem cells are so important right now. I mean, they're coming up in the conversation of health and wellness so much more lately than they ever have been in the past. And I know they're doing so much with stem cell therapy and research. I have a friend who actually had stem cell replacement done because he had a unique form of cancer, and it has completely helped him and taken that out of his system. And so I think that this is really important for people to hear about.
Well, I think what's so important about it too is, you know, there's so much going on in the world of stem cells, but for the average person, you know, stem cell replacements, stem cell injections are outrageously expensive, and it's just unattainable for 90% of the population. And what's great about this product is, you know, for less than a cup of coffee a day, you can have a product that can help you activate your own stem cells that are going to make you feel better, age better, everything positive that you can only dream of. And so that's what was so exciting for me. I was introduced to this product by Cheryl. She's one of my best friends. And I was always a health and wellness junkie. It was my passion in life. I worked in business always and marketing, but this was always my passion. And I've been actually looking for a product that I could get excited about. So when she introduced this to me, it was 2 years ago. And at that time I was very healthy. I was always took care of my health, my diet, exercise, yoga, everything you can possibly do. I did. And I said to her, you know, Cheryl, I'm not sure I need this. And she said, well, Bethy, she calls me. She said, don't you want to keep on feeling that way for as long as you can? And so I started looking into the science, and I was so fascinated, intrigued. But what intrigued me even more was, how did I not know about this? I work in this field. You know, I did marketing work for all these natural paths and holistic doctors, and I couldn't believe I never heard of it. And so I said, okay, you know, I'm going to give this a try. And I started using the X39, and there's a couple other support patches that I was using. And it took about 4 months before I really felt it. But at that time, I was listening to all the research and the science. And I just kept saying to myself, I can't believe that this is not mainstream already. And after about 4 months, I just started to feel euphoric almost. And I used to get those NAD infusions. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they're great. They're helpful, but they cost a couple $1,000s to get a couple of them. And, you know, and I said, I don't need those. I have this, and it's so much cheaper. And so I just kept feeling better and better. And at the time I was too busy to really market the product. But I kept referring it. I just kept telling people, you got to call my friend Cheryl. This product is just so amazing. But over time, I kept having more and more benefits. I used to get bronchitis and sinus infections several times a year. I haven't had one since I started.
It would knock her out for weeks.
I mean, I'd be down for weeks.
Yeah.
I have a knee that is bone on bone. My orthopedic tells me all the time, we can replace that knee. I have zero pain. I can now do deep Buddha squats doing yoga, and I'm doing things I haven't been able to do in 10 years. That's my knee. Now, the really weird thing was, and I wasn't looking for this because, you know, I just was using the product, and I noticed just this past summer, I always wore these prescription sunglasses. You know, in Pittsburgh in the winter, we don't need glasses. So I was like, it was springtime, and I was putting on my prescription sunglasses that I've been wearing for my whole life. I thought, I can't see out of these. I don't need my glasses anymore. And I'm 64 years old, and I no longer wear reading glasses. You know, and it's just like every time something comes up, I went to the doctors about 2 months ago for something, and they took my blood pressure, and it was 150 teen over 67. I haven't had that blood pressure since I was a 40-year-old runner. So that's my testimony. And so with that, I can go on and on. And my things are simple. And yes, they've improved my life. But what's so amazing, girls, is when you see the life-changing things that have helped people whose lives were debilitated, who just had very little quality of life. And when you see these stories and you see these testimonials, it's heart-lifting. And so, you know, when this all started happening is when I took it to a new level and decided to, you know what, I'm going to really market this product because everyone needs to know about it.
It just seems like such a miracle, healthy way of doing things. I mean, we all want to be young. We all want to feel young. We all want to like feel our best. And it does take time. And for anyone who does want to try this, like, you know, it does take time. However, I am going to give my own little testimony to you. When we had met you at the conference, I was sitting in the chair for hours and my back was starting to hurt, like really bad.
Oh, I remember that.
You know, yes. And then so we kind of meandered over to you and started asking questions. And, you know, I think you noticed my discomfort. And I was like, oh, yeah, I've been sitting for a while. My back is
patched your back.
Yes. And then you gave me this patch. And I'm not saying this works for everyone. I'm not saying that at all. For me, this is how it worked for me. You had said, let's put this patch on. And I gotta be honest with you, I was like, oh, she's crazy. I'm like, okay, I'll put the patch on. And
Whatever.
so I put, basically I was like, no, I'll just be nice, whatever. So you put the patch on, and within literally, Tara was asking a lot of questions, and I was kind of like sitting there kind of a little mopey because of my back. And within like, I'd say like a good couple of minutes, 3 minutes, you were like, how'd your back feel? And I was like, oh yeah. Oh my goodness, it feels better. Like, oh my goodness. And then when I went back into the conference, it felt so much better. Like so, it was almost instantaneously. And I know that probably doesn't happen all the time. And it could have been the placebo effect. I'm not
It was at the ice.
Well, yeah, we have a product called the Icewave, and it's a 2-patch system, and it's the only product that doesn't use a peptide, because what it does is it cuts the pain. I put one patch on the point of pain, and then I put the other patch following the muscle that pain's coming from, and I cut the circuit. That's what the Icewave does.
Yep. That was actually going to be my next question. Specific, if you could go through like the science, because that was such a great segue of how the patch exactly works. For instance, on how you did that, what you just said with me, and where you put it, and how its neurons affect the rest of the body.
Oh yeah, yeah.
About how it's
And before you jump in on that, what I'd like to do is also just hold one up so people can see what it looks like. It's literally just this small, it's like a sticker. It looks just like a little sticker, and you can tell us where it goes on the body. But what I love about this is it's non-invasive. So it's not like you're getting an injection. There's no device to it. This is literally all it is. And you just put this patch on your body. And I'm going to have you share with us where it goes and how long people need to wear it for and how it works. So
yeah. The patches are actually non-transdermal. So when you put it on your body, nothing's going into your body. It's you that's the power. The light of you opens up the frequency in it. And so it is opening up a peptide. Every patch is a peptide except for the Icewave. And that peptide is what opens up those healing centers. Each peptide is different. The X39 opens up the GHK copper peptide, which is the one peptide proven to activate those stem cells. And so once you activate your stem cells, then it's a constant healing process, regenerating, healing. Your centers are now starting to open. Everything opens. And so that patch you can wear on either side, by the way. We have people that are allergic to the sticky. And if you just put it on the inside, both sides are the same. So you put it on the inside of your clothes and the other side hits your body. And if you're not allergic to the adhesive, you just put it right on your body. So that's 2 different ways. You wear it 12 hours. It's a 12-hour patch. We work through your natural circadian rhythm where it's 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So that David said that we have to work with our natural rhythms. And so that's why you put it on in the morning and you take it off 12 hours later at night. A lot of people put them on their pets. The pets have.
I love that.
It still has about 5 hours of activity left. And so when you put it on your pet, they are very high frequency anyway. And so the last 5 hours, they absorb very quickly. And it'll change their health too.
Okay, so since our pets, most of them, I'm assuming, have fur or hair. So do you just stick it to the hair, or how does it interact with their body?
I put it on her collar. So I stick
Okay, so it doesn't have to be on the physical being.
No. But I have a lot of people put it in their beds at night. As long as it's by them, like I said, both sides is the same.
Yeah.
Right? You can put it under their collar, inside their ear. A lot of people put it right here on the front. I mean, wherever, as long as it's within 3 inches of their body, same thing as yours. Your light signature goes 3 inches away from your body. So as long as that patch is somewhere within that frequency signature, it ignites.
So then what is the reason it has a 12-hour time frame? Like, if it's something that interacts with light, could it last longer? Or
because we're working on your natural rhythm, we still need to give your body that time to repair. So if you keep wearing it, your body doesn't have time to do the natural repair. Then wake up in the morning and activate. Natural repair at night, activate.
For 12 hours, you're stimulating the stem cell activity. So then you need to give your body the rest to let it do the work.
Yeah.
And you want to wear this patch during the daytime because of the circadian rhythms. But in addition, it's really beneficial to be very hydrated while you're wearing the patch. So you want to make sure you're drinking plenty of water. You don't do that when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's perfect.
Let's talk about the one that we both have, the X39.
39.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the X39, like we said, opens up that GHK copper peptide. And that is the mother cell. And I call it the mother one because mothers take care of everything. They rush there. They make sure everything's okay. The coolest thing about this X39 is it's self-diagnosing. You guys have to realize your body's smart. So you might want to start taking a patch because your shoulder hurts or, your lower back or something like that. But the patch, once you put your stem cells in action, they're going to say, oh, no, that liver needs work first. Oh, no, we're going to work on the pituitary gland. And so it knows where to go, how to do it, what to do. And so you have to trust the process. You have to trust that your body knows what to do. It's the first, what I want to call preventative product in the United States ever. Because I wish I could say to you, if you stay on this patch, you're not going to have cancer in 2 years. If you stay on this patch, your pancreas and your liver are not going to be so diseased that you can't function. See, I can't. We can't make those. We can't make those, or I don't. Well, nobody knows. Even they don't.
Right.
But I'm telling you, it will change the outcome. It will change the outcome. My husband didn't believe in these. The first 11 months, every day, I put a patch on him, 2 of them, and he said, I don't know why you're paying money for these. I don't feel different. I don't feel anything. And so I said, you know what? I know the science. I know what it does. You're staying on these. So 11 months later, he comes one day and he goes, what is going on with my stomach share? And I am connected to Source. I do readings and stuff. And I said, so tell me, what's the resistance? What's going on? And Source said, it's a blockage. It's encapsulated, but the stem cells did their job. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting. Rushed to the hospital. He had to have emergency surgery because his colon was about ready to burst. They found a blockage in there and they said it was cancer. And so we took 13 inches of his colon out. I patched him that night, 7:30 that night, and he got out of the hospital in 3 days. He was out in Saturday. He has surgery Friday. And the doctor said, I've never had anybody heal that fast. What did you do? And so I showed him the patches that I put on him. And so 2 weeks later, we went back to the doctor and he goes, can you guys sit down? And we're like, yeah, sure. What's going on? We thought, he's going to get this big news. And he goes, I've never seen this before. And I go, what? And he goes, it was totally encapsulated. It was a blockage, but something compressed it. And all the cancer was contained in there. There's no cancer anywhere else in your body. And Rick looked at me and he goes, okay, I'm never getting off those patches.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm glad. Hopefully he's doing well today still.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah,
Almost
that's
a year and a half
amazing.
ago. Yeah.
Right.
Wow. And, you know, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said prevention. That is the name of the game for health and wellness going forward. I mean, people in the past would wait till they got sick and then go to the doctor, but now we need to do things to make sure we don't have to go to the doctor. And this is the type of thing that can help us where we don't end up spending all that money on those medical bills that we shouldn't have to spend it on, right?
Exactly. If people realize, like when I would get bronchitis, the amount of money I spent on over-the-counter medication, and I'm telling you, it was insane. Going to this specialist and that specialist, just to, you know, copays and everything else. It would cost me $1,000 to be sick, and I haven't had a cold, let alone anything else. But the other thing, you know, the patches do so many different things, from taking care of inflammation to healing to detoxing to, I truly feel like I'm getting younger.
Yeah.
I have the energy of I just don't know anybody who has my energy level. I almost don't know what to do with it. And I can go and go and go and work and work and work. I started an organic cooking business a couple of years ago. I can be on my feet for 15 hours a day for 5 days a week and I don't get tired. So, but, you know, I always had that energy level, but it's at a different level. I just don't. So it's,
I mean, I tell people, you're either going to spend money on the pharmaceutical industry or in you. Let's put your funds in you.
That's right. Yeah.
Believe in you. Yeah.
Invest in your health. It's the best investment
Absolutely.
you can make, you know. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, we have some support patches that are very helpful, that work in concert with the X39.
The Eon is the one.
The one patch
really
we start
recommend.
everybody on is the X39, and a patch called Eon, and Eon addresses stress and inflammation. And when you handle the stress and inflammation in your body, it allows the stem cell activity to be more effective. And so that's what we start everybody out on. And so I tell people that, you know, if you're challenged financially, I understand, because I've been there before. Just take $5 a day. Stop doing something you're doing where you could take $5 a day and put it in an envelope and you can invest in your health.
Right.
And
right.
I'm so passionate about it because I know it works.
Right. Now, can you combine patches? Or is that something that you would suggest to people to do? Would there be a reason for that?
Well, I think as you go on to your Lifewave journey, first, do those first 2 patches for at least a month. You got to get your body activating again and trying to really get back into homeostasis. Once we get your body starting to balance, then you can start to add some of the other support patches. But those 2 that we mentioned first are almost imperative for at least the first month.
It's how you get the best results.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are some people that they just want to try the X39, and hey, it's, you know, your choice. It's just our suggestion.
Now, I did hear you mention the name David earlier, and I know you were referring to the founder of this company, of Lifewave. And I understand, David Schmidt is his name, I understand that he was actually invited by the U.S. Navy to be part of an elite research team tasked with developing a product to help mini sub crews stay awake without drugs or stimulants. And I think a lot of people probably need something like that. Can you share with us a little bit more about him and how he got started with this business?
Yeah. David actually worked for the government for almost 4 or 5 years, researching things for the government. And this patch was our very first patch, the energy patch. And that is a 2-patch system. And that patch he created in order to help these people use the mitochondria within their cells.
Was it for the Navy SEALs? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Navy SEALs.
Oh, the Navy SEALs. Interesting.
Yeah, for energy production without side effects and stimulants. And so that patch was so effective, they actually gave him a grant to work on more patches, right? So that they can help. But 9/11 hit. And as soon as that hit, they said, we don't want you anymore. We're going to work on defense. So
they just switched their funding. And so it didn't.
So they let him go. And he's like, you know what? Humanity needs to have this. I am not going to stop. And so he created Lifewave, a network marketing company. So 20 years later, this is where we stand.
So the energy enhancer was the first patch that he launched to the general public, having, just switched his gears. And that was the very first patch. And they were able, it was effective. The Navy SEALs were able to use this in all their missions to avoid taking stimulants or caffeine. And
and what they find out too is the energy patch works on your tutorial field. Your tutorial field is we're all positive and negative. So one side of us is positive and the other side is a negative. So we are a field, literally. Okay. So that is a positive and negative patch. So as you place those, your tutorial field starts to balance. And so I got rid of migraines. I got rid of headaches. All your chakra systems balance all the way through to your crown, and you start to feel balanced. You don't feel like you're out of sorts. And so your focus and everything while they were on this patch became very evident. And we would love for you to see this video with David and his vision. Yeah.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There is more information there than most people would ever realize. I was 8 years old, and my parents wanted to take me to the workshop of Thomas Edison. On the drive back home, I said to my dad, I want to be an inventor. Light, as it turns out, is the primary control mechanism for everything else that happens in the body. What if we could have an external electromagnetic field that would essentially reset the stem cells that are already in our bodies and get them to function like younger, healthier cells? What if in the process we actually found out that in a book that was written thousands of years ago, that information already existed? God has left his fingerprint in natural design, and that blueprint shows up in nature. The mathematical codes are identical. The implications to this are absolutely extraordinary. What drives me is that there's this enormous sense of hope that we can create technology to generate clean energy, that we can have foods that aren't genetically modified, and we can meet all of the needs on the planet that we have to, and that we can heal people.
And that's David.
I want to go to the energy patch because I really feel like as we get older, especially our age group, as you're getting 40 and over, and maybe you can answer this question, but I feel like my energy just goes down. And definitely after menopause, like once menopause hits, it is like a whole new world. And so for anyone over 40, 50 that has hit menopause, what are your, and for me personally, it's energy, but just what are your thoughts on how this patch specifically for the woman over 40 or 50 or going through menopause, how would this help them? And which I know you're saying start with 39, but again, we have a lot of listeners that are a little bit older. I'd love to hear from you about that.
So the X39 will always be your base patch, because no matter what, those stem cells have to be activated to heal or balance any other system in your body. Okay. It is the base patch. Now, all your supportive patches are what really amplify or help you in very specific things. Like you were talking about the hot flashes and the things and the energy and the drop of all that. We have a patch called SP6, which helps with the endocrine system. So it pulls up the pituitary, the pineal gland, all the glands necessary for proper estrogen levels, proper testosterone levels, balancing the hormones right from the get-go. The second thing it does is it balances the insulin in the blood. And so we have so many women that have cravings for carbs and all those sugars because the insulin is up and down in their blood. And so if you put the SP6 on, that starts to balance it. But again, those systems take time. Don't put the patch on and expect, oh, here I go. I'm good. I'm back to 30. You know, give your system time to start to regulate each one of those things. And in a few weeks, you'll feel a major difference.
And so part of the natural aging process is, you know, your hormones get a little out of whack. Your body doesn't, your metabolic system doesn't work as effectively. It's all part of aging. And so why are you tired and you don't have enough energy? And why do you have cravings? And why are you gaining belly fat? It's all related to how your systems are functioning. And so when you, like, for example, when I've been on this product for 2 years and I'm very active, I eat really healthy, I lost about 8 or 9 pounds of just pure fat. And I'm over 60. So that doesn't happen with, I didn't change one thing. I didn't change my diet. I didn't change how I exercise. I didn't change anything.
Yeah, even her wine at night.
Yeah, I drink wine every night.
Okay, you should have opened with this, by the way. This is what all the ladies need to hear about.
Well, okay, can we switch it? And because it really
it's
is so amazing. Like I feel like if I tell everybody how many amazing positive things that have occurred, they won't believe me. But if you see me, like I have friends, they're saying, whatever you want, I want it. And whatever you have, whatever you're doing, I want some, because I have this vitality and this energy, and I've lost weight and I've leaned out, and I just have done the patches. That's
and you're balancing.
Yeah.
So I have a scale as a personal trainer that actually measures those measurements: your BMI, your visceral fat, your fat to muscle ratio. But the biggest one I always watch is your chronological age. So your biological is when you were born. Your chronological is what is happening on the inside. So how young are you on the inside? So when I first started the patching, that's when Rick got sick and I pulled out of my coaching. So I didn't do any more personal training. My last reading for my chronological age was 61. And at the time, I think I was 67. So I thought, hey, I'm doing pretty good. You know?
Wow.
So a month ago, I went back on the scale after being on X39 and 49 for 2 years. And my chronological age was 51. 50. Wow. I was like, I took pictures of it. And my muscle fat ratio switched. So now I have more muscle than fat. My visceral fat, which is the fat around your belly and your organs, went down 2 points. So now I'm 5 on my visceral fat instead of 7. So all those numbers were massive evidence to me about what is going on in your own body.
So what I'm hearing you say is you'll be smarter, taller, and better looking. Just kidding.
Absolutely.
Well, maybe you should open up with.
We're working on to make claims.
Let's open up with. Do you want to be smarter, taller, and better looking? Somebody said to me,
"And drink wine."
Yeah. Drink wine.
Yeah.
Enjoy your wine, consequence free.
Absolutely.
Everybody has to have one vice, right? You know?
Yeah.
And we have this other patch called glutathione. It detoxes you better. And so it's like, all right, I can drink wine. I could drink a couple glasses of wine, wake up next morning, go do a marathon. It doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a testament right there.
You know,
I know, right?
I'm at the age group where you're supposed to be affected by these things. It's almost like I pinch myself thinking, I can't believe I could feel this good. It's like I have friends, they're like, oh, I'm getting old. I was like, I'm not.
Just stay on the patch.
Yeah, I mean,
I told my husband, I said, you better make sure I'm buried with my patch on.
Wow, that's dedication.
I know, because I just know I want a high quality of life until the day I go. I want.
And then, in the afterlife.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a very special, the most important thing to realize is that you have options, and we have an option that it's worth trying because it's not that expensive, and it surely isn't going to hurt you, and it might change your life.
Yeah.
And, you think of the people out there that, they have serious health issues, and we've had people that it was life-changing for them. I have a brother who's 10 years younger than me, very successful in business. He was a former athlete. He's all banged up, and he thought he needed a hip replacement, and he was desperately trying not to get one. And he went and spent $35,000 on stem cell injections. And they helped a little, but they didn't work. And so I said to him, I just started trying these patches not too long ago. Call Cheryl. That's all I said, because I was busy. And he did. And he started using these, and he started using the Icewave patches for his hip. He was using the X39 too. And after about 2 months with the Icewave patches on his hip, he didn't need the Icewave pouches anymore. He just used the X39. He does yoga 3 times a week. He has zero pain. He never needed a hip replacement. He's healed. I mean, that's major. But, for people who have real debilitating health issues, and to watch them have, when you go to the links that we're going to share with you, you'll see some powerful testimonials that are just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And so, it's like our social responsibility to share the information.
And I do think as we get older, like Tracy said, it is just harder to stay healthy and fit and remain well. And so everyone's looking for that alternative, right? Everybody wants that magic pill, that, the secret of how to stay young and thin and vibrant. And at the very least, if we do something small like this just to help ourselves, I think every little bit helps, right? And it helps us stay, vibrant and hopefully fit and healthy, so we can enjoy our families and our lives and go on about things, without having disruption with illness.
Yeah. It's about the quality of your life. And then, I've always said that with every decade, the uphill curve gets a little steeper if you want to stay in peak, being able to be active and move and hike and do the things you enjoy and exercise and such. And it just gets harder and harder. And what the patches do, it kind of just levels that slope. It makes it a little more attainable and less of a challenge with better results.
And I think it's important to remind everyone that it does take time.
Yes.
If something's going to give you immediate effects, then it's probably not good for you. Right. And you're going to lose those effects quite fast. And so I think that, at least giving yourself 3 to 6 months to try this patch. I mean, it's almost like you can't really, if you're going to eat something, just put it, it's not hard to do it. You just put that on.
You have to go on a crazy detox diet.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Grace. Because David says for every 10 years of your life, you should be on the patch 1 month minimum. But as your body starts to change, we do have the one patch wonder. Okay. A lady that puts them on, and in an hour, she's like, what the hell? My legs don't.
They feel it immediately.
Yeah. They feel it immediately because their body is craving it. Their body is like, oh, thank you. Now I can do this or do that. Okay. So we call them the one patch wonders, and those are amazing. But that's about, I don't know, 30% of the people, maybe. The other 33% are
like me.
Months. Yeah. It takes them that months for their body to kick in and start replenishing. You're going to go through some detox. Don't forget that, because it's got to get rid of the junk. If it's going to repair, you got to get rid of stuff. So some people go through detox, headaches, stomach cramps, rashes. It comes out, but everybody's different, which is the beauty of this product, to be honest with you. And then the last 33% is like my husband. It took him almost a year. But it was working on some massive changes.
It was busy taking care of that cancer, so it didn't get to do anything else.
Yeah, that's all it did.
So when you think about it like that, that's pretty powerful. And so, and then in all honesty, and David Schmidt will say this if you ever get into listening to some of his podcasts, the healthier you live your life, the healthier you eat, the more water you drink, you exercise, you do the things that are right that the human body should be doing, you're going to have even more benefits. So, I encourage people that, don't spend $99 because you want to try it for a month, because you probably, most people aren't going to feel anything, and you're just wasting $99. So be committed for 3 to 6 months, because I'd like to see you get the benefits from this. And so if you could commit to that, then you have a better chance. And then a year from now, I want to know exactly how you're doing, because that's when you really start to, I have a guy who's a friend who, he had Lyme's disease to the point where he was disabled. He couldn't cut his grass. He was my age, and he just couldn't do anything because of Lyme disease. And I told him about these, and instantly he felt better. The minute he put the patch on his body, he was just here. He's been using the patches for about 6 months. He said, Beth, I'm like able to hike. I couldn't cut my grass a year ago. I could barely get around the day. I was disabled, and now I'm hiking, I'm cutting my grass, I'm working again. It changed his life. And so, it just, and he started just on the X39 with the Eon, and then he started to explore some of the other patches, and he's using those too. So he's on his, is what Cheryl would call his Lifewave journey. And, sometimes people ask me, well, do I have to take these the rest of my life? I said, no. When you want to start aging fast, quit taking them.
Go ahead. Don't use them.
Don't use them. You want to speed up the natural aging process?
Go ahead.
Go for it. Go have some McDonald's while you're at it.
Yeah.
When you turn 100, that's when you're allowed to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Well, I love that this is backed by science, because I think a lot of people need to see the proof in things and need to really understand how things worked.
Yes.
And I know David has worked really hard at developing this product. And I believe that there's been like over 70 research and development papers written on this product. So we know that it does what it's supposed to do.
Yes.
And, we may not understand fully because we're not the people that developed it, and that's okay. But if we trust and we give it a try, I think, we can hopefully see some benefits there. And I think a lot of people are looking for that right now. They're looking for ways to help themselves, and simple ways. And that's what I love about this. It's just so simple. It's literally just a little patch. That's it. It's like a sticker. You put it on your body, and you leave it there and forget about it, and it just stays there and does what it's supposed to do. So we are so grateful for you to come on and share this information with us. We're going to leave links in the description of this video. So anybody who's interested in learning more about this, if you'd like to either purchase them, or if you would like to learn how to become a social partner, there's a business opportunity here as well. So we'll put all that information in the description of the video. And I know that you're on standby for support as well, if anybody has questions.
It's a really special company. That's really important for me. I come from the business world. I was in corporate America for a long time, and then had my own businesses and such. And when I came across this product, I absolutely love the product. And there is so much science behind this that it just confirmed everything, like why I started understanding why I was feeling so good. And then, but when I recently went to a conference just last month in Dallas, and when I saw how solid this company is, and how powerful and strong, and just how committed they are to the people working in the field, it gave me such a boost of confidence that I thought you can, the sky's the limit. When you have a product that's good, and a company that's this solid and strong based, and they've been building slow and organic for 20 years. And so now they're ready to just introduce this to the world. And so we're really excited to be here with you girls. We're excited that we met you, and we're excited to share this information for everybody that's watching.
Well, we are excited as well. And we want to say thank you again so much, Beth and Cheryl, for talking with us today about this healing modality. We think it's so important to share this information with people, because people are looking for non-traditional holistic ways to heal themselves, for healing and wellness. And I think alternative treatments like this, just to know about them, is so important. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing this with our audience. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your time and your generosity. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.